The name Elias Grant lingered in Adam's mind long after Damien. No, Elias had spoken it. He couldn't stop staring at him, couldn't stop trying to see him, as if knowing his real name would somehow change the way he looked. But it didn't. Damien still stood there. Still him. Still that unsettling mix of familiar and unknowable. And Adam hated that he wasn't sure how to feel about that. He forced himself to speak. If Elias Grant doesn't exist anymore, then who are you now? Damien tilted his head slightly. That depends. Who do you want me to be? Adam exhaled sharply. Jesus, you're impossible. Elias just gave a small, unreadable smile. Adam ran a hand down his face. Okay, fine. You said you were Elias, past tense. That means something happened. Something big enough that you had to erase yourself. Elias said nothing. Adam narrowed his eyes. What was it? A long silence stretched between them. Elias exhaled slowly. I made someone disappear. Adam's breath caught. The words sent a cold shiver through him, even though Elias's voice remained calm, almost indifferent. What do you mean, disappear? Adam asked carefully. Elias held his gaze. It means they no longer exist, not in a way that matters. Adam swallowed hard. Are they dead? Elias didn't answer right away. Instead, he tilted his head slightly, as if considering how much he wanted to say. Finally, he murmured, Does it make a difference? Adam's stomach twisted. It should make a difference. It did make a difference. But the way Elias spoke, so steady, so certain, made it impossible to tell what was more terrifying. The idea that he'd actually killed someone, or the possibility that he had the power to erase people without ever needing to. But before either of them could speak, Adam's phone vibrated on the counter. The sound snapped him out of whatever this was, yanking him back to reality. He quickly grabbed his phone, glancing at the screen. Ayumi. His stomach clenched. Elias watched him carefully. Are you going to answer? Adam hesitated. Then, with a sharp exhale, he picked up. Ayumi? Her voice came through, tense. We need to talk, now. Adam's grip tightened on the phone. Why? There was a pause. Then, because I know you have it. Cold dread shot through him. He barely registered Ayumi saying, Meet me in an hour, before the call disconnected. Adam slowly lowered the phone, his chest tight. Elias sipped his coffee like nothing had happened. She knows, Adam muttered. She knows. Elias set his cup down. Then I suppose you have a choice to make. Adam clenched his jaw. What choice? Elias met his gaze, unreadable as ever. Do you want to give it back? Adam's stomach twisted. He wasn't sure. Adam stared at his phone, Ayumi's last words ringing in his ears. Because I know you have it. His grip tightened. How the hell did she know? Did she have proof, or was she just guessing? Was this some kind of trap? Elias, if that was even his real name anymore, watched him in silence, his fingers lightly drumming against the counter. You're thinking too much, Elias said. Adam snapped his head up. I'm sorry. Should I be thinking less when someone just accused me of stealing? Elias smirked, but there was something dangerous behind it. You're assuming she knows something, but she might just be bluffing. Adam swallowed, his pulse still erratic. He wanted to believe that. Wanted to believe Ayumi was just testing him, but his gut told him otherwise. She told me to meet her, Adam muttered, rubbing his temple. I don't know if I should. Elias tilted his head slightly. What are you afraid of? Adam scoffed. Seriously? If she's got proof, I'm screwed. Elias took a slow sip of his coffee before responding. Then don't let her have proof. Adam shot him a glare. You're not helping. Elias just smiled. That depends. What exactly do you want help with? Adam opened his mouth, then shut it. He didn't know what he wanted. He wanted the USB gone. He wanted Ayumi to stop breathing down his neck. He wanted... His gaze flickered to Elias, to the way he leaned so easily against the counter, as if he belonged there. He wanted to understand him, and that might have been the most dangerous thing of all. Adam exhaled sharply and ran a hand through his hair. I need to go. Elias's smile faltered slightly. You're going to meet her? What other choice do I have? Adam muttered, grabbing his jacket. He expected Elias to say something cryptic, something infuriating. Instead, Elias said, Do you want me to come with you? Adam froze. The question hit him harder than it should have. For a moment, he almost said yes, but... No, Adam said finally. I don't think that'd be a good idea. Elias studied him for a long moment. Then, he nodded. Be careful, Adam. Adam hesitated before heading for the door. He didn't look back. Ayumi was already waiting when Adam arrived. She stood by a small cafe, arms crossed, her usual calm expression marred by something sharper. Adam forced himself to keep his pace steady as he walked up to her. Ayumi, he said, keeping his voice neutral. She wasted no time. Where is it? Adam frowned. Where's what? Her eyes narrowed. Don't play dumb, Adam. My USB? I know you have it. His stomach clenched. What makes you think that? He asked carefully. Ayumi exhaled sharply. Because I checked the security logs. The only people in the office after I left were you and the janitor, and somehow my USB vanished. Adam forced himself to look confused. That's not proof, she scoffed. It's not, but let's be real. You've had every reason to want to take it. I know you think I've been stealing your work. Adam clenched his jaw. Maybe because you have. Ayumi didn't deny it. She didn't even flinch. Instead, she said, That doesn't give you the right to steal from me. Adam inhaled sharply. I didn't take it. She searched his face, as if trying to read the truth straight from his skin. If you don't have it, she said finally, then who does? Adam's breath hitched. For a split second, Elias's face flashed in his mind. Ayumi caught it. Her expression darkened. There is someone else, she said, voice low. Adam quickly shook his head. That's not... Who is it? She pressed. No one, Adam snapped. Drop it, Ayumi. Her lips pressed into a thin line. You're making a mistake, Adam. He scoffed. You mean by not admitting to something I didn't do? Ayumi's eyes were sharp, unreadable. I mean by getting involved with whoever you're protecting. Adam stiffened. Ayumi exhaled, shaking her head. Look, I don't know what's going on with you, but you need to figure it out fast. Because if I find out you were part of this, I will make sure you regret it. A shiver ran through him. She gave him one last look before walking away, disappearing into the crowd. Adam stood there, heart hammering. When Adam got home, Elias was still there, sitting on his couch, completely at ease. Like he belonged. Adam shut the door and ran a hand over his face. She knows. Elias raised an eyebrow. She suspects. She checked the logs. Adam muttered, pacing. She knows I was the last one there. Elias watched him calmly. Did she have proof? Adam hesitated. No. Then she's guessing. Adam let out a bitter laugh. Great, I feel so much better. Elias leaned forward, resting his elbows on his knees. What did you tell her? Adam exhaled. That I didn't take it. Elias smirked slightly. Well, that's not a lie. Adam shot him a glare. She knows there's someone else involved, and she's not going to let this go. Elias was quiet for a moment. Then he said, Do you want her to stop? Adam's stomach twisted. He knew what Elias was really asking. Did he want Ayumi gone? The thought made his blood run cold. No, Adam said firmly. I just want this whole thing to go away. Elias leaned back, considering him. That depends on how far you're willing to go. Adam clenched his fists. What the hell does that mean? Elias met his gaze, and for the first time, his expression softened. You're too honest for this kind of game, Adam. Adam blinked. He hadn't expected that. Elias stood, stepping closer. You want to fight fair. You want to play by the rules. But people like Ayumi? They don't. Adam swallowed hard. Elias tilted his head. So tell me, Adam, do you want to win? Adam's breath caught. Adam sat on the couch, staring at his hands. They were steady? Too steady. He should be trembling, should be unraveling. But instead, his thoughts were cold, sharp, calculating in a way that unsettled him. Ayumi had backed him into a corner, and Elias was watching him like a predator that had finally found something worth chasing. You're thinking about it, aren't you? Elias said, his voice smooth, knowing. Adam clenched his jaw. Thinking about what? Elias leaned closer. How easy it would be. Adam looked up sharply. What would be easy? Elias smiled, slow and deliberate. Making her disappear. Adam's stomach twisted and he shot to his feet. No. Elias didn't flinch. Are you sure? Adam turned away, pacing. His pulse pounded in his ears. I just want this to end. Then end it. Adam exhaled sharply, raking a hand through his hair. I'm not like you, Elias. Elias stood, his movements fluid, effortless. He stepped behind Adam, close enough that his presence wrapped around him like a shadow. You think I was always like this? Elias murmured. Adam swallowed. Elias's voice was low, coaxing. People push, they take, they corner you, expecting you to just accept it. His hand brushed Adam's shoulder, light but deliberate. Adam went rigid. And then one day you realize, Elias continued, you don't have to accept anything. You can push back. Adam turned to face him, pulse erratic. You're the one who made me start thinking this way. Elias smirked. No, Adam, I just gave you permission. Adam inhaled sharply. I'm not. Not what? Elias cut in. Not capable? Not willing? Adam's throat tightened. Because deep down, in the part of himself he didn't want to acknowledge, he was willing. And Elias could see it. Elias always saw it. Adam gritted his teeth. I just need her to stop, that's it. Then make her stop, Elias murmured. Adam squeezed his eyes shut. Not like that. Elias exhaled, almost disappointed. Then what, Adam? What's your line? How much will you take before you start fighting back? Adam forced himself to meet his gaze. You want me to become you? Elias smiled slightly. Number, I want you to become yourself. Adam's breath came uneven. His thoughts warred between fear and something darker, something liberating. Elias leaned in, voice soft. You don't have to be afraid of it. Adam sat in his car, gripping the steering wheel so hard his knuckles turned white. Ayumi was inside the office building, probably going through every security log she could find, trying to pin the USB theft on him. He should just walk in like normal, pretend nothing was wrong. But instead, Elias's voice echoed in his head. Then make her stop. Adam exhaled sharply, staring at his reflection in the rearview mirror. He wasn't going to hurt Ayumi. He wasn't even going to threaten her. But maybe he could push back. Just a little. Something small, something harmless. Just enough to remind her that she wasn't the only one who could play games. Ayumi was at her desk, typing furiously, a concentrated frown on her face. She didn't even look up when Adam entered. He walked past her, heading to his own workspace, keeping his expression neutral. But as he passed, he noticed something. Her coffee cup, sitting right at the edge of her desk. It was barely balanced, her attention too focused on her screen to notice. Adam slowed his pace. It would take nothing, nothing at all, to accidentally bump the desk, to send the steaming liquid straight onto her keyboard, frying whatever files she was working on. A thrill ran through him. Not fear, not guilt. Excitement. His fingers twitched. You don't have to be afraid of it. Adam hesitated, and then he moved. Just the lightest touch. A brush of his knuckles against the desk's surface as he walked by. The cup wobbled, tilted, spilled. Ayumi let out a startled yelp, jerking back as the coffee cascaded across her keyboard. The screen flickered violently before going black. Shit, she hissed, scrambling to grab napkins. Adam stopped, turning just enough to see the damage. She was too busy panicking to notice him watching. His pulse thundered in his ears. It had been so easy. And the rush, the sheer satisfaction of watching her struggle, watching her lose something for once. God, it felt good. Too good. Ayumi groaned, pressing the power button repeatedly. Oh, come on. Adam forced himself to frown, feigning concern. Everything okay? She shot him a sharp look before sighing. Number my laptop just died. He exhaled through his nose, keeping his face neutral. Damn, that sucks. She gritted her teeth. Yeah, no kidding. Adam nodded, turning away before she could see the ghost of a smirk threatening to form on his lips. Elias was waiting for him when he got back. Adam barely had time to shut the door before Elias spoke. You did something. Adam stiffened. What? Elias's gaze flickered over him, unreadable but pleased. I can feel it. Adam swallowed, pulse erratic. I didn't. Don't lie to me, Adam. Elias stepped closer. Not touching, not threatening, just there. Adam exhaled sharply, his stomach twisting. It had been small, petty. It wasn't like he hurt her, but it had been intentional. And now, standing in front of Elias, feeling the weight of his scrutiny, Adam realized something terrifying. It hadn't just felt good. It had felt right. Elias smiled, slow and knowing. See? He murmured. That wasn't so hard, was it?